The date is January 3rd, 2013, and this is Daily D&D. Hey guys, welcome to Daily D&D. Today is Thursday, and Thursday's cool because I just got back from playing D&D, and I get to give a little bit of a recap. I've been worrying all day that Paul was going to preempt. Maybe he watches this. He says that he watched, he's a couple behind. I don't know if he's ever going to catch up. But, I was afraid that he was going to see what I was going to do and do it instead. So, instead of me talking to the dead corpse, he would raise it from the dead and have it start throwing spells. Because he said that it was going to be a very fun spellcaster for us to fight. But, combat started and, some awesome stuff happened. To start with, our Dragonborn in the party, while combat is starting, we have now 3 large hulking zombies in the thing. My sister, after stabbing, I cast a spell, and she's off to the side and invisible. So the Dragonborn stabs the wall with his portal knife, and it opens kind of like the, Aperture Science portals, except that instead of against, opposite walls, it's the same wall. It pretty much says, hey, it's a door. And so with that, he's able to see and he's able to start throwing spells out. Well, the zombies don't have anybody to stab, and our artificer went and flew back up to the window, so he's not there. And so the zombies look up and they see, a Dragonborn. So one of them picks up a church pew, because this is like some temple-y thing, and throws a pew at him. And this pew's coming and it's going to hit him and deal damage. So I use one of my spells that allows me to warn him back in time. And so the words travel upstream through time and whisper in his ear that says, incoming! And he looks, and because he has such great strength with this warning, he grabs the pew as it's being hurled at him, and he hurls it back. And at this point, the artificer says, he just made an attack. I'm going to enchant his attack and make it fire as its type. And so suddenly, the zombie threw a pew at the Dragonborn, who caught it and threw it back, and it caught fire and hit the zombie, and the zombie went and died. So that was way awesome. Anyway, I jumped down from the mirror, and I did this cool Matrix-y type thing where my trench coat kind of billowed out. I landed on the ground and stood up, and I'm 100% cool and calm. I head over to where the guy is. I spend my healing surge. I reach and I touch his temples, and I commune with him, possibly on a different plane. I don't know exactly how it works when we're doing it instantly in combat. We've done it like that before, so that's kind of cool. Apparently there's this book on the table that has this large glowy orb thing that I think disappeared. I didn't get that clarified. But I was able to learn that shutting the book should be able to do it. So on my next turn, I shut the book, and all except this one very, very large zombie disappeared. That zombie ran away through some stone walls, which he's done before. He likes throwing large chunks of rock at us. I don't know if anyone has played Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but there's a cutscene there where Loki has these super soldier guys who are throwing, massive gigantic boulders that are crushing trebuchet and stuff. It's a cool scene. It was kind of like that. That's how he attacks us. It's not very fun. But I also used a ritual that, not using a healing surge, just in our extended rest afterwards, to let me learn a lot of stuff about the book, and how it was, touched by an evil presence, and it was some guy who wanted to bring his son back to life after he died, and, tragic story. It turns out the big monster's the son. So we get to go hunt him down pretty soon. We're back at the inn, and we leveled up. So that was pretty cool. I swapped out an encounter power I didn't really like with a new one, and now I get to print 3 character sheets with a computer that doesn't like printing these character sheets. And also that computer's not really online, so I have to save it as a PDF on one computer, move them all over to a computer that might still talk to the printer, and get it printed. So that's annoying, and I'll probably, I've made 3 characters for this campaign. Essentially, I've got 2 of the players are still fairly new. This is Jerusha's third campaign, where she's finally starting to understand what's going on. Next character I'm not making for her. I'll be there to advise, but she'll have to sit down and make it, and it'll probably suck. But she'll have made it. That's her growth. And then Jordan, this is Jordan's first campaign. He's the Dragonborn. And yeah, I've just pretty much made his character form. Got a lot of input with him. But I went through and just did a bunch of stuff. I pretty much let him pick his powers and one or two of his feats to kind of give him, pick his focus. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today, I'm here to talk about a character that I once played called Marc Guiver, my disposable thief. Back a couple, when was this? This was a while ago. I need to start keeping a D&D diary. Hey, look! Vlog. Anyway, I was working with our DM. Our DM and I were employed at the same place, and so a lot of our conversations tended to be about Dungeons and Dragons, and he was talking about this, cool idea for an undead campaign, where all the characters were evil and undead, and he came up with, an interesting rationale, and he needed a way to bring the party in. So I offered my services as a PC. And so, instead of being, found in a tavern or whatever, I was essential to the local duke or something like that. And I gathered the party, and I totally cheated them out of their paycheck, and it was great. But I had made this thief knowing that once we got to a certain place, I would die. And we, the DM and I should have talked it out more and role-played through that campaign. That encounter a little bit more. If I had to redo it, that's what I would do. But his name was Marc Guiver, and he was based off of Marc Guiver. He had a bag of holding that was full of a ton of mundane stuff, and he spec'd his thievery. Mostly for creating and uncreating traps, is what it was. And so he was supposed to be the master burglar. We're going through some, big, gigantic, dwarven whatever. He's like, oh, a trap. It's undone. It's undone. It's undone. And, help him, just waltz through. I wish it worked a little bit better, I'm thinking D&D Next will be a little bit better about it, because then I can say, you're trained in perception and you're trained in, disarming traps, instead of putting actual numbers to them, because with how the actual numbers worked, I couldn't see traps. I could, if someone pointed them out, I could totally take them out. But it was kind of embarrassing to not be able to see the traps. Yeah, but I was forced to go along with the adventure that was going. And I think I we role-played it out fairly well in the beginning. And it came fairly naturally, and, I think they could tell that I kind of rehearsed it a little. But our final encounter, his final encounter where he gets sucked into this large gem that starts stuff, didn't go quite as I would like. And so I would totally do that part of it again. It was interesting playing a disposable character, because I got to make a ton of, promises and stuff, and there was a lot of very fun things about knowing your character is going to die. I didn't fight with him as well as I should have, because I hadn't been thinking of him as a thief. I was thinking of him as a, effectively a crowbar and a sacrificial lamb. And so I would also, when I go and play him again, I would like to play him again. I like the concept of a character who has, a MacGyver-type pack, where he's able to take stuff out of his bag and solve problems. That is a very, very interesting skill set. And we don't, that doesn't happen in D&D, because a lot of mundane items aren't on the items list, so we don't think we have them. I have characters that need, if I have a physical-based character, a martial-based character, all of them now are going to carry a toolkit, just because I had a character that I'll probably talk about next week sometime, by the name of Donald Quixote, who wanted to drop a tree on a keep, and he couldn't, because he had a sword and not an axe. But I will talk about him later. I think that's it. If you have any questions about Marc Guiver, please leave them down below. He was kind of fun. He was a halfling. It was actually the only time I've played a halfling. I might have said that I never played him before, but I have. I have played it once, a halfling rogue, and he had a hat with a feather that was longer than he was tall. And he was, wore exceedingly fine clothing. It was a lot of fun. Have any of you ever played a character that was where you conspired with the DM to get to a certain point and do something? Maybe you betray the party. Maybe you, your character is supposed to die here and come back later. I don't know. Leave me a comment down below if you have done anything like that. Other than that, we don't do this yet. We do this. Click the like button down below if you like this video. If you didn't, leave me a note telling me why you didn't. If you know anyone who needs to see this video, there's a share button somewhere down below. And you can, use that to pass it to people who need to see this video. There's also, while you're down there here on this YouTube page, a subscribe button. And if you like getting these daily D&D videos, click on that. And I will come to your YouTube subscription box every day. Well, every day that I make a video. Yeah, and it's inescapable. Just like a plotted death between you and the DM. My name is Matt Wankow. Now it's finger time. This has been your daily dose of D&D. Stay in line, and I will see you next time.